presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And good evening, everyone, and we're coming to you from Bill Tipton Field in Midwest City, Oklahoma, for two different Midwest City high schools about to do battle. It's Midwest City and Carl Albert. Jordan Ray joined by Tom Carpenter. Always great when Midwest City and Carl Albert could play in any sport. They met in the postseason a couple times this year in football. That was won by Carl Albert. And basketball, that was won by Midwest City. And here they are playing in baseball, and this is the season debut of one Tom Carpenter announcing baseball with me. We had a fun time doing that a few times last year. Tom, great to have you on a headset on here, getting ready for some Bomber baseball.
As usual, we're the A team, so we had to let the Carl Albert group leave, and we came in and we're going what it's like to announce a ball game, and
yep,
we're pretty excited about this.
Well, we're the second team announcing. Of course, when we saw that this game was going to be played, we're like, after Carl Albert Evans Memorial, we're like, we have to get the Carl Albert Evans Memorial game on, and we did. All right, we're going to go ahead and show you real quick the starting lineups for Midwest City. Lincoln King will lead off in center field. Terrence Rideau will bat second at catcher. James Washburn, the shortstop, batting third. Caden Fixico, the former Titan, batting cleanup at pitcher. Kevin Nelson, DHing, batting fifth. Turner McPherson, batting sixth. The first baseman, Jesse Bain, third baseman, batting seventh. Brandon Dixon in right field, batting eighth. Noah Polston will bat ninth. As you can see, Mason Gamble will be DH'd for. That is the lineup for Midwest City. And here's your lineup real quick for Carl Albert. And from left to right in the outfield, it's Webster, Devontae Jones, Nate Dellenplank will move to the outfield. He played in the infield earlier today, or actually he was DHing. Bo Davis will be at third base again. Declan Murphy again at shortstop. Lane Sexton at second. Jordan Hawkins at first base. That's the usual infield for him. The battery, Mason Avery, who pitched earlier today, will be the catcher, and Andrew Campbell will be the pitcher. Andrew Campbell, we haven't seen him on the Oklahoma Sports Network yet for Carl Albert, but he is someone their coach has said he expects to be an option to start a postseason game, as they have two established starters, of course, one being Declan Murphy, who will not pitch today, and the other we saw Mason Avery. But, boy, did he have a battle going up against maybe the best team in the state, at least on the west side, 6A, Evan Memorial. So Carl Albert has lost their last game. That was to Evan Memorial on this field just a little bit ago. For Midwest City, they last played on Monday at Noble, a familiar place, Tom. And, again, that was a close game. They lost 4-3. This inning, Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC inning. Your hometown dealer for all pre-owned vehicles. Visit Confidence Buick GMC, or Chevrolet Buick GMC at 6100 Tinker Diagonal in Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender. Since we last had the Bombers on, they decided to switch their 1 and 2 hitters. Lincoln King will be batting leadoff. And Tom, I think you remember from last year, this is a good player, and he's had a good season for Midwest City. That's why he's batting in the top of the order.
Yeah, he's a ball player, and he can hit the ball. I've umpired several of his games, and
he took a big hack at that inside pitch. Bobby Lewis foul ball there, strike one.
Didn't get any this year, but I watched him a little bit at the Midwest City tournament, or whatever they call that little.
Bill Tipton Classic, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That was a rough one for Midwest City, but I think they've actually played well since they got beaten really badly by Tulsa Kelly, or Bishop Kelly, a couple weeks ago. That pitch is a ball. And the count goes to 1-1. That pitch catches the outside corner. Good location there for strike two. And now Lincoln King needs to protect the plate here. And here is Campbell's 1-2 delivery. Good eye there from Lincoln, and the count now evens up 2-2. Nate Dellenplank, by the way, in right field for Carl Albert. He was going to play no matter what. What's interesting is Boston Holland, the right fielder in the first game, got hurt. He probably would not be playing if he was in the lineup. Oh, tough swing there for Lincoln King, and that is a Patrick Newby strikeout. And, again, Andrew Campbell, he doesn't pitch in the big district games, but he's a good pitcher. That's why he's in this spot. He's their third pitcher, I believe, and he gets a strikeout. That's, again, a Patrick Newby strikeout. And here's Terrence Rideau. He's also had a good year at the plate. Now Tom's got some stats he may go over. And there is a laced single by Terrence Rideau. Whether he bats one or two, he can get on base, and he does right there. Got a bit of that, very tail end of that on the Triple Elite Instant Replay. Tom, that was just solid contact.
Yeah, he took a good hop.
So a single to center field for Terrence Rideau. Next up for Midwest City, James Washburn, their shortstop and also one of their main starting pitchers. And he's hacking that first swing for a Bobby Lewis foul ball. Bobby Lewis surprisingly great rates with two locations to serve you in both Choctaw and Midwest City. Remember, Tom, James Washburn had pitched really well that final game against Noble. Bombers came up short, but it wasn't because of the pitching of Washburn. He kept him in that game. There goes Rideau. The throw for Rideau is not in time. Mason Avery, who, again, he got through pitching, so I don't know how good it feels to make those throws, Tom.
Yeah, his arm's going to be pretty sore. If not tonight, by the time he gets up in the morning, it's going to be hurting. That's the tough part about playing games back-to-back if you're in different positions, especially after you pitch.
But you have to do it in baseball in the postseason, especially that first day of regionals. You got to play two games, although not always back-to-back like this for Carl Albert. Outside pitch there. The count goes to 2-1. So a stolen base for Terrence. Still playing catcher, Tom. He's kind of new to that position last year, but now he's kind of settled in there.
I think he settled in pretty good.
Yeah. And Washburn hits one
hit.
that will drop for a base hit in front of Jackson Webster. And, yes, going around to score. And let's see if we can get that on the Triple Elite replays. We get the swing there from Washburn. And the Bombers will take a 1-0 lead. You know, they're actually pretty good at scoring early in games, Tom, and it's because of that top of the order.
Right.
Now, they've had trouble scoring later in innings, but not here. And an RBI for James Washburn.
Yeah, they're top of the lineup looks like they're doing pretty good looking at their batting average, but it just really sharply drops off to the middle.
Yes.
Sharply drops off.
And that will be something that needs to hopefully change for them in the regional. We have a bunt here. That is by the cleanup hitter, Fixico. And it does the job. Interesting that you would do that with one out, Tom.
Well, it's fielder's choice, and that way it advances the runner where they're in scoring position. And big Kevin Nelson's coming up, and he can hit the ball.
Yeah, Nelson and Fixico have recently switched spots in the batting order. But like you said, Nelson, he hits for power. He also is a very patient hitter. Looking to add to the Bombers' 1-0 lead. And he takes a big hack for strike one. So this is when I said he was a patient hitter. Look back, the runner at second. That, of course, James Washburn. Now Nelson will ease his stance here. Campbell definitely a more deliberate pitcher than what we saw in the first game. I'm a Memorial starter, man, he went fast, even though the game took a while. It wasn't because he waited long in between pitches. That pitch there is on the outside, and the count goes 0-2. As I say, outside corner is what I meant to say.
It's outside for a strike.
Outside corner for a strike of the corner of the strike zone. And now Kevin's got to protect the plate for the Bombers.
Good place to get another score.
Looks like maybe a pitch out there, Tom.
Yeah, and nobody else reacted in the field. I don't think he got their signal straight on that one, but
not uncommon to see it 0-2, and we now go 1-2. And Nelson fouls one out of play for another Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count will remain 1-2. This is the Confident Chevrolet top of the first inning. As the sun is setting, but we still got a lot of sunlight. At some point, the lights will come on. Actually, they already are on once it gets dark. Nelson did not check his swing. He went around. That's strike three. That's another Patrick Newby strikeout. And Campbell will get out of the inning, allowing a run here. All right, we're not going to take a break between bottom of the first, top of the first inning. Instead, we're going to give you the Carl Albert batting order here. And it's similar to the one, but a few changes towards the end of it for Carl Albert, similar to the one they had against Edmond Memorial earlier today. Jordan Hawkins will lead off playing first base. Devontae Jones will bat second and center field. Nate Dellenplank will be in right field in this game, but still bat third. Bo Davis, third baseman, bats cleanup. Lane Sexton, second baseman, batting fifth. Declan Murphy still playing shortstop, batting sixth. Catching this game will be Mason Avery, as he pitched last game. He did not hit last game, so he'll be hitting in this game, batting third. Jackson Webster in left field, batting eighth. And Mason Avery batting seventh. And then DHing and batting ninth is Adam Head. For the Bombers in the field, from left to right, their usual outfield, Mason Gamble, Lincoln King, Brandon Dixon. The infield from left to right, Jesse Bain, James Washburn, Noah Polston, Turner McPherson. The infielders, the battery, Terrence Rideau, of course, the catcher. And the lefty, a move in from Carl Albert, Caden Fixico. I don't know if you remember Jackson Fixico, his older brother, but Caden Fixico was on the roster for Carl Albert last year as a sophomore, of course. So many good players playing ahead of him. And he's getting more of a chance to be one of their ace pitchers by being at Midwest City, Tom.
Right, but there's never good blood when you go to the neighboring school.
No, you're right. So I'm sure he's excited.
Oh, yeah.
This game being in Midwest was supposed to originally be in Midwest City, and now he'll get a pitch, where his home field from last year. So, and he knows, I'm sure, just about every Titan player that he'll be facing. So here's one of the impressive newcomers for Carl. When I say newcomers, Tom, I'm talking guys who weren't in the lineup every day. Jordan Hawkins, this is the first time I've had a chance to see him bat right-handed, as he is what Coach Whiteley told me, the head coach of Carl, but he's a true switch hitter. And again, that's hard to do because you got to really practice both swings. Takes a strike there on the outside corner, strike one. I don't know if that's something you notice, Tom, switch hitters. Because you can't tell right away. You have to see it on the roster unless you see him turn around. Count now goes 1-1.
That was a pretty good switch hitter. Only problem was could only bunt left-handed.
That's interesting.
The problem is
what was the limiting factor there? 2-1 now the count.
I don't know because I was closer to first base.
Batting left-handed, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now Hawkins works the count to his favor. 3-1 the count. You're giving that one-run lead as Fixico. You want to get some outs right away. We'll see if he can. Though that ball is hit to center field, and it is caught. But that was Lincoln King on the catch?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a hard time viewing the outfield with the light now changing, but Lincoln King with the catch. He plays a great center field. And one away for Carl Albert. Devontae Jones will bat second for him. And here he is right now. He had some adventures earlier this game. We have a lefty-on-lefty matchup. That pitch is inside. Ball one. Bottom of each inning brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. 5500 Tinker Diagonal. Buffalo Wild Wings. Buy one, get one deals every Tuesday. And, hey, today. Not too late to go there today if you want. You can still watch. Of course, you're watching the game if you're watching live. Count goes 1-1 to Devontae Jones. Inside. But Caden Fixico, one of the starters for Memphis, who normally starts in those Monday, Tuesday district games. Oh, getting hit by the pitch is Jones. He got hit by the pitch. It was much more painful against Edmond Memorial. Thankfully, he was okay, and he's still playing.
Yeah, Fixico throws pretty hard. Said he usually hangs around about 80 mph, but he's topped it out at around 85, so that's going to leave a pretty good mark if that hits you.
I don't know if that was off speed or something.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying.
Still, that won't feel good. Gets ahead here, 0-1. He likes to pound that outside corner to right-handed hitters. He may not see that many lefties, so see if Jones looks to test Terrence Rideau's arm. Of course, you got that lefty pickoff move that can be dangerous. Fixico, in this case, just looks Jones back.
I think they're questioning whether that was a balk or not. I got a pole kind of guarding me, but I think he probably stepped back. That'd have been way too obvious.
That pitch catches the outside corner of the strike zone, of course. 0-2. Can you make a quality 0-2 pitch here and one that's hard to take? Dylan Plank, he's got power. We've seen him hit a home run here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Well, if he didn't have a runner on base, you could always throw that deuce in the dirt for 0-2, and sometimes you get a sucker swinging at it, but you don't want to do that. The ball get away from the catcher, and it's gives your runner on base an extra base.
And that may be why Terrence Rideau went to talk to Caden. You do not want to get your signals crossed when you have base runners, because that's the recipe for the pitch getting past the catcher, whether they call it a pass ball or a wild pitch. There goes the runner. There's the throw. It's high, and it gets to the outfield. Jones sliding. Oh, the ball got by Lincoln King, so now Jones will be able to take third. King probably did not need to make that throw to third base, but it got there. But now Carl Albert can tie the game. I believe that pitch was called a ball. Carl Albert can tie the game with a fly ball to the outfield or a well-hit infield ball. And now you got to be really careful here.
Don't want to say anything bad about Rideau, but he warmed up when he threw the pitch down after they warmed up before the inning started.
That ball is sliced foul.
He threw a twin to that one he just threw.
Well, I'm surprised Lincoln King just wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
Ball to get past him there. It should have still been a runner on second. We'll see if that matters. Saw Rideau try to frame that, Tom, but too far outside for that to work.
Yeah, a little overkill on that one.
Yeah.
You don't make your umpire look too bad. I tell the catchers, if you stick it out there, I'm going to call it. But if you pull it in like a foot, I'm not going to call that a strike.
That was close to that.
Foul.
That ball is fouled off near the Carl Albert dugout. Another Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count remains 2-2. For Midwest City, Fixico really needs a strikeout here. Again, runner at third, less than 2 outs. If you can avoid Dylan Plank putting the ball in play, all the better. Check swing did not come close to going around. He looked like he wanted to take a hack at it, but he didn't.
Full count.
And the count is full. Payoff pitch.
That's fouled.
That is fouled, and Rideau looked at it like he may have a chance, but it went away over the backstop. So another Bobby Lewis foul ball. We've had a lot of those early on.
And we know Rideau is pretty fast. He gets over there quick.
Well, he's not just fast for a catcher, and he's unbelievably fast for a catcher. You will not see him get courtesy run for as a catcher like you do other catchers.
No.
But he's also just fast, period. All right, here again is the payoff pitch from Fixico. And that ball is hit in the air to center field. This should score a run. Lincoln King will get there for the catch. But scoring easily is Devontae Jones, and that's where that error in the outfield on the throw for the stolen base comes back to haunt Midwest City. Run scored for Jones, and this game's tied at 1. Two outs now. And Bo Davis, who actually had a rough game in defensively for Carl Albert against Evan Memorial earlier today, takes a hack there for strike 1.
That's an ugly hack, too. He went in close to that ball and it was almost in the dirt.
So the bases are now clear. Well hit right there, and a base hit down the middle. You got all ball on that one, and a single for Bo Davis. Lane Sexton now the batter for Carl Albert. Sexton's been the regular at second base this year for the Titans. Outside pitch, strike 1. Taking over for Hutch Russell, who's now at Seminole. Hutch moved to second base on a more regular basis last year. Sure is doing well at Seminole.
Yes, he is. I've been following him.
And chance you've been following Tanner Norman as well?
Yes.
I know he's posted on social media a couple of home runs.
Well, Danny Breeden is his grandpa, and he's very proud of Hutch.
As he should be.
My longtime friend and friend to a lot of folks in this town.
Count now goes 2-1. Well, you know where his brother Houston's at?
I do, but it's going to take me a second. No.
Purdue. And,
okay, yeah.
His mom is a counselor at Midwest City High School. Swung on and missed there. Count goes 2-2. And she's had to make frequent trips to West Lafayette, Indiana to watch her son play. A little taxing because you don't have a direct flight to West Lafayette, so they don't go to Indianapolis. Usually they go to Chicago.
Wow.
2-2 pitch. Got him, strike 3. Let's see this on the Triple Eight instant replay. Tom, just great location there on the part of Caden.
It was, and it you can't. If you got 2 strikes, you can't sit there and watch it. The umpire's going to get that one.
That's a Patrick Nibby strikeout. We're going to take a quick break here. We played 1 inning. It's 1-1, Midwest City and Carl Albert on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The Mushroom Swiss Burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray, Tom Carpenter. Titans and Bombers tied at 1. Carl Albert scored in the bottom of the first off a sacrifice fly. Midwest City a base hit by James Washburn. And we're back to a top of the inning by Confidence Buick Chevrolet GMC. I think I got all this car company. Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC. They're located really close to where I live on 6100 Tinker Diagonal in Midwest City. From oil changes to major repairs, they service all makes and models. All right, for Midwest City, one of 3 left-handed hitters they have in their lineup, that being Turner McPherson. Midwest City lost a couple of close games to Coweta in district play that hurt them in their playoff seeding. Turner McPherson was not available in those games. He had a concussion against, I forgot the name of the team for a split second, Tom. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I did not.
It was Dale.
Oh, Dale's pretty good.
They are good. They won like that game 20-1, but that was like the worst of it for Midwest City was Turner got hurt. But he's back now. And the outside strike is called there. Now, we've seen that pitch called in the first game as well. So the hitter's just got to adjust.
He's been pretty fair both sides.
Goes over the glove right there of Avery. And the count now goes 1-2. Midwest City is not clinched to their seed yet that they won, 4 seed. That ball is chopped to first base. Easy play for Jordan Hawkins and out number 1. And now it'll be Jesse Bain's turn to hit. But Midwest City is in 4th place in their district after a tough stretch against the elite teams in their district, that being Coweta, Bishop Kelly, and Collinsville, going 0-6 against those teams.
Man.
And they have not gotten past the team that's in 5th place yet. That's Tulsa Edison Prep, because those teams haven't played their second game yet. It got rained out. And was that called a strike there, Tom?
Nope.
Okay, so good checks.
He's appealing it.
Check swing there by Jesse Bain, and it's ball 1. But Saturday afternoon, they'll finally make up that game. Weather looks good for that, and it is a playoff seeding game for Midwest City. So we're going to have it for you. Midwest City and Tulsa Edison Prep. Also Terry Long Day.
Jerry Long.
Terry Long was a coach of basketball for a different era, too. Swing and a miss there. Jerry Long, who, Tom, you'll know more about him than me, obviously.
I actually played for him. He coached the JV one year. I was playing baseball. And then he helped out with, he's also a football coach. He was so funny. He was one of those funny guys that could crack a joke, and you weren't supposed to laugh, and you're being serious.
Well, a chance to talk with him in 2025, swung on a miss there. Count goes 2-2. That would be very exciting.
Well, he told me he's going to try to be here. His son Jason's going to drag him up here, or up to Midwest City. And
yeah. 2-2 delivery. And Avery wants an appeal to the other umpire who's right now positioned down the first base line. He will not get it, and count goes full. So Jesse Bain with a good battle right here. And draws a walk.
He has a .409 batting average. He's been doing pretty good. He's one of the leaders of the team. Washburn's the only one's got better batting average.
Now here's where the bottom of the order for Midwest City hasn't been consistent, but you hope that starts to change. One of their seniors, Brandon Dixon, who's been very good in right field. And he'll be batting right here. So Palmers have a base runner. Can they do something with it? Good eye there by Dixon. He takes ball one. That inside pitch again, called a strike like it normally has been. 1-1 the count. Again, we're playing a late game here. It's going to get dark soon. Playing a late game because this is game 2 for Carl Albert. They hosted Evan Memorial, arguably the best team in the West for 6A. Evan Memorial won that game 7-3. That game started at its normal time. That pitch high, ball 2. So that's why we have a late start here. This is the second game for Carl Albert. They're still playing many of their regulars.
Well, Coach Vodka wants to get him in shape for playoffs. You know that's what he's doing, and
Yeah,
I don't blame him. It's a great concept.
Well, they're doing it. It was supposed to be played Tuesday, of course, and it got rained out. Swung on and missed there. Strike 2. Tuesday was supposed to be at Midwest City and rained out, but they wanted this game played, so they moved the location. And Carl Albert was willing to play this game after their Evan Memorial game. So even though these games don't matter as far as playoffs go, they still matter. Dixon stays alive with the Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count stays 2-2.
You also want to think, it's Battle of Midwest City again, who's bragging rights, and that's still important to these guys. And
yep.
Like I said, they've grown up together. They've played ball on the same ball teams.
Well, they played in the playoffs in football, girls basketball, and boys basketball. I forgot to mention girls. They played for a regional championship. That was at Carl Albert and won by Carl Albert. Boys played an area consolation championship a week later at Bridge Creek. That was an elimination game won by Midwest City. It was the first time since 2010 that the Carl Albert boys basketball team did not get to state. So that's some interesting matchups. And Dixon draws a walk. Tom, that's very good at bat for Brandon.
Yes, it was. He had a good eye on that ball, and he didn't take any wild cuts at anything.
Of course, he's about to move on to college, and he's going to be graduating here on Monday the 19th, I believe. And I think he's playing college football. Name of the school escapes me at the moment, but it's good to see Brandon have this at bat here. And now there's going to be a bit of a conference between Mason Avery and the Carl Albert pitcher, that being Andrew Campbell. It's our first look at Andrew Campbell, but again, he's someone who could pitch some very important games for Carl Albert in the postseason. So, and you really need, if you're Carl Albert, you have to be thinking, you really want to get that bottom of the order for Midwest City. So that's those 2 walks, not what you want. Swung on and missed by Noah Polston, the second baseman for Midwest City.
And I believe Noah has the lowest batting average on the team.
He's mostly a pitcher.
Right.
Pitcher looks the runner back. That being, again, Andrew Campbell.
It's still one of the best plays in baseball because you get the guy's attention. You don't throw the ball into center field. Just fake a throw like you're going to throw it to second. Get their attention.
Oh, they have him in a pickle here. Let's see. That's going to allow Bill C to take the base at third.
He's going to run him all the way back. He's tagged.
And then out of the base pass. So I'm not sure what was going on with Brandon Dixon there.
Wasn't paying attention, apparently.
Yeah, and again, and Josh Calloway talked about this in the Carl Albert game, or Memorial game, as being that tagged out when you're the trail runner. And now it's 2 outs. You could have gotten Lincoln King at bat with runners in scoring position, even if Jesse Bain didn't get on base.
Right.
So that's one of those mistakes that Midwest City has been making from time to time. That pitch there outside, ball 2. But the lead runner advances, so maybe they can get him home, and Midwest City can retake the lead here.
Foul.
That ball is sliced foul, and that will make the count go 2-2. We mentioned Mid-Dale rivalries. What about Midwest City and Dale City? That game was supposed to be played this past Saturday. It got rained out. I thought initially it was not going to be made up, but that has changed, and we will also have that game for you. That's going to be on Monday. And John Kilty will join me, Tom, and it'll be his final broadcast for the OSN. So that ball gets a little bit past Avery, but not nearly enough for Bain to take off, the runner at third. We have another full count. So these Bomber batters have been working the count pretty well.
I've known John for a long time. He's just a great guy. Great all-around guy.
Yeah. Also be senior day for Midwest City. Payoff pitch. That's fouled off. Another Bobby Lewis foul ball. Bobby Lewis surprisingly great rates with 2 locations serve you in Choctaw and Midwest City. Full count pitch.
That's foul.
Sliced close to the right field line in the outfield, but definitely foul. And another Bobby Lewis foul ball. But Tom Polson's battling here.
Yes, he is. He's hanging in. It's good at bat. As longer you can stay in that box, you're doing good.
And that is going to be called strike 3. That is a great pitch there by Carl Albert pitcher Andrew Campbell, and we have played an inning and a half. 1-1, Carl Albert and Midwest City right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
All right, we're back with Mid-Dale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The Titans and the Bombers. The Titans, of course, the 2-time defending state champs in 5A. They have a very different team this year, but still a good team. They're still going to host a regional. Declan Murphy, the batter. Of course, he's the most experienced player by far for Carl Albert. Has had a good year pitching. Hitting probably could go better, but we'll see if he can start getting some hits here. Take strike 1, though. Another example of Caden Fixico painting that corner as the count goes 0-1.
Tried to call timeout.
Worked out for him that he didn't.
Oh, yeah, I kind of ignored him. I tried to explain to the batter, I said, you got to verbalize it. You got to hold your hand up. You can't just hold your hand up. That hit him? That was close.
I guess it was close, but the count will go 2-1. So, yeah, we still have some we've got a lot of Midwest City games before the postseason on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We won't have their postseason games. They're just a bit too far away, Tom. I don't know if you would want to go to Pryor or to Bishop Kelly, but
If you're driving, I'll sleep in the back.
Way outside, ball 4. So after an 0-1 count, Declan Murphy gets on base. I don't think he got on base against Eben Memorial earlier, so good for him to get this chance here to run the base pass. And next up for Carl Albert, Mason Avery, the catcher. Good experience for Mason pitching against Eben Memorial. They had some guys who can just rake as he takes an 0-1 pitch here. So he got the loss, did Mason Avery, but I think it was a good experience for him. He actually beat Eben Memorial last year as a sophomore. But now that that game's over, they will not have to worry about Eben Memorial again, will Carl Albert. Take that pitch inside for a strike. It's a nice thing about those 6A versus 5A battles. However tough the opponent was, once you see him, you're done seeing him.
I did Class C regionals today at Seminole, and trust me, there's some good ball players.
That pitch over the head of Rideau, and Murphy will be able to take second easily.
On a WP.
So the count actually will now go 2-1. And those smaller schools, they got baseball teams that play year round just as good as any team you'll see in 6A. Lined up the middle, base hit. This could give Carl Albert no. Murphy will stay. Good.
He should have gone.
Lincoln King did pounce on that ball. And now we have runners at the corners for Carl Albert. We got a courtesy runner for Carl Albert. Did you get the number there, Tom? I just missed it.
Which one?
Courtesy runner.
Oh, no, I
It
didn't.
might have been Porter Cruz. He often will do that for Carl Albert.
I did not
32.
bring my binoculars. I do have them, though. I guess I could be getting them out.
So, again, Carl Albert can take the lead, can score a run without a base hit. As they go back to first where you have the courtesy runner there. Jackson Webster, the hitter, and he's fast. He's someone you could see bunting in this situation. And he does square to bunt, and that will be a foul ball. Well, that was a good pitch for Caden Fixico because that's what you want. You want the pitch too high for the batter to bunt, but he tries anyway, so now it's strike one. See if he can get to, if Fixico can get to his 2-strike count here for the Bombers. We'll see if Webster can lay down a successful bunt that might lead to a run for Carl Albert. He is squaring to bunt again. Pulled back, it looks like, so that's an inside pitch, ball 1. And it's starting to get dark. Runners at the corners for Fixico. He's in a jam here. And again, it's fouled off. Bobby Lewis foul ball. And now the count's 0-2. We'll see if, or 1-2, but still a 2-strike count. We'll see if Jackson Webster decides to swing away here. Tom, do you ever see many bunt attempts with 2 strikes?
I have, but this has been some of the poorest bunting I've seen all year long. And, I mean, it's sad sometimes.
Well, Jackson's a sophomore. I bet he'll get really good at that by the time he's a senior.
That was the proper way to call it.
All time, and now the runner goes.
He's not going anywhere.
If time was granted.
It's worth a try.
Yeah, it wasn't really much of a gamble, but just very unusual.
Another thing I'm seeing is kids not paying attention.
Now the runner goes. They throw the shortstop to look at the runner at third back, but it's going to be an easy stolen base for the courtesy runner. Now I think that's Peyton Reed. That's Peyton Reed who is on second, and he gets a stolen base. But, Tom, you got to send the runner at some point when you have runners at the corners at this level.
Right.
And that pitch was ball 2. Now you got to focus on getting that out if you're Caden Fixico here. Did he go around? Now they got to throw to first. Good throw by Rideau, but they're going to go back to home, and the pitch to Rideau is high. It bounces right back to Rideau, but that's how Carlbert will get their run. Declan Murphy went on that throw. That's why if you're Rideau, somehow it's not easy to do by any stretch, but you got to try to make that tag. So you don't have to throw it. So the Titans now go up 2-1. And they'll go to the bottom of the order. It's the 9th place hitter who's a DH. That's Adam Head. And they still have a runner in scoring position. That pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. So a strikeout for Fixico, but it also leads to a run. Declan Murphy goes around to score here. Now we're going to have a runner at third. Swung on a miss there, strike 1. Count evens 1 apiece. Reed, the runner at third base for the Titans. There is now 1 out.
Foul.
Foul ball, now 2 strikes. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Bobby Lewis surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in both Choctaw and Midwest City. 2-1 now the lead for Carl Albert. We'll see if Caden Fixico can limit the damage. That ball is skied and actually hit pretty well to center field.
He missed it.
And Lincoln King could not hold on to that ball. The run was going to score no matter what, but now there's still only 1 out, and Carl Albert has a runner at second. Don't believe that will be an E8. Nope, it's a hit. But it looked like Lincoln King could have had that.
Wait. Why did he send him back? Oh, because it was a double. He didn't send him back. Pay attention, Tom.
So the 9th place hitter with an RBI double. And we'll go back to the top of the order. And Jordan Hawkins, as he takes a high strike there. Pitch is outside for a ball. Count goes 1-1. Now a runner at second. I should have that updated here. Still just 1 out. That pitch misses for a ball. 2-1 the count. And now we will have Midwest City head coach Landon Vodka come out and talk to the team, or talk to the infield. He tries to calm Caden Fixico down. It's been a rough inning for him, and it's not all on him. A lot of it's on the Bomber defense. I think we may have a trainer coming out from Carl Albert. So
yeah, he been over. I think he might have been in.
So, yeah, Fixico may be hurt. And he's going to take some warm-up pitches here. I'm going to see how he looks. It's not obvious there's anything visibly wrong with him.
Well, the way he was bending over.
Yeah.
his back. Or
By the way, Tom, I want to give I don't like calling them shout-outs, but I want to say hi to Carl Albert girls basketball head coach and baseball fan, Kyle Ritchie, whose son is a pitcher, freshman pitcher for this team.
Right.
And he told me that Jerry Long is his uncle.
Yes.
Swung on a miss there. Well, I would say to Coach Ritchie, hopefully we can interview your uncle and you can tune in even if you're watching on playback on Saturday. Game is scheduled to start at 1 o'clock. Bombers and the Eagles of Tulsa Edison Prep. That pitch was a strike, so 2-2 the count. Mexico to Jordan Hawkins. That pitch is outside, and the count goes full. This is the leadoff hitter for Carl Albert. You want to get him out here if you can. But they cannot as it goes out, as the pitch there is low, ball 4. And now Carl Albert has a runner on first and second. And Devontae Jones will come with the bat. Now, he got hit by a pitch his last at bat.
Infield fly situation. Nice bunt.
They get the bunt off. Can Fixo get the throw? No, it just died. That ball died before it could get to Fixico, and he had to rush that throw. Probably good that he ate it there, Tom.
Yep.
Very good bunt by Devontae Jones.
Loads the bases.
And the bases are loaded with one out here.
Excuse me.
Titans have 2 runs already, and now they got a good power hitter. Nate Dellenplank. As Jones reaches via bunt single here. Nowhere to put him, and that inside pitch makes it ball 1. One delivered by Fixico. That's hit hard at the third baseman. Did they get the tag?
Nope, called him safe.
No, he did not. That was the shortstop there, James Washburn, on the ricochet off of the glove of Bain. And it's going to be an infield single, and now it's 4-1. Carl Albert leads Midwest City. So an infield single and an RBI for Dellenplank. Adam Head scores from third, and base is still loaded. That swung on and fouled. The hitter now for Carl Albert is Bo Davis. Bo Davis got a single his last at bat. That was in the first inning. Now falls behind the count here, 0-1. Bobby Lewis foul ball there. He laced that one to left field.
He missed it.
And it will get past the left fielder, and that could clear the bases. That gets past Gamble, and it will be a bases-loaded triple. And Carl Albert, we got the tail end of that on the Triple Eight instant replay there. Carl Albert with that big inning that they love to have. And the score is 7-1, Titans over the Bombers. So Mason Gamble couldn't get to that ball. And the big hit there, and there are now torching is Carl Albert, the former Titan, Caden Fixico. So an RBI triple for Davis. That scored Jordan Hawkins, Devontae Jones, and Nate Dellenplank. We've had 6 runs scored this inning. Still one out. Pitch misses there, ball 1. Pitch misses down, ball 2. Tough thing about this for Midwest City is, you want to have Caden Fixico ready to go next week for the playoffs. He would be one of your starters. Swung on and missed there, strike 1. Not good for his confidence here. Not all on him, of course. There's not been great defense behind him. We'll see if he can finally get a second out here.
2-2 on Sexton, so let's see what he can do with that.
Gets a strikeout, swung on and missed. We'll see that on the triple lead instant replay.
Finally, there's a second out.
Triple lead screen printing, find world-class design and hot new styles. That is also a Patrick Newby State Farm strikeout. And now Declan Murphy, who walked his last at bat.
He's coming up again this inning.
Yeah, they batted around as Carl Albert. First pitch to Murphy is a ball. Yeah, Murphy scored after he drew his walk. And look to draw another one here as he gets ahead in the count. No, actually that first pitch was a strike. Now the count evens 1-1. Pitches outside, ball 2. Swung on and missed. Count evens up 2-2. Still runner at third base for Carl Albert. Can they add to their 6-run inning? Two pitch misses outside. Ball 3. Count goes full. Here is the payoff pitch. Misses low, ball 4. Another walk for Declan Murphy. 2 walks in this inning. Now Carl Albert has runners at the corners. Mason Avery, who had a base hit his last at bat. Of course, he was replaced by a courtesy runner who scored.
Yep.
And he gets in the count here 1-0. And that pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. Oh, that hit him. So we'll see that cursor runner again.
Man. That should be a bench warning right there. He flipped his bat and caught the catcher.
Yeah, so one catcher hit the other with a bat there. I don't know if it was on purpose or not.
Didn't matter. He still needs to go over and warn the bench. Don't do that again, because you'll take care of your catcher. He's the one that's protecting you as an umpire.
So here's Jackson Webster, one of only 2 outs who struck out. Well, actually, we're going to have another mound visit now. They can have another mound visit, Tom, without taking him out, I believe, because the first one was just a medical visit.
Yeah, it didn't count. He's coming out.
But that's not what's happening. They are going to make a pitching change. Tough one for Caden, but you don't want to wear him out either. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll talk about the new pitcher when we come back. It's Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
Welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. A pitching change for the Bombers as Carl Albert has scored 6 runs this inning, is looking for more. Jackson Webster, the hitter, takes a strike there. Aiden Smith, a right-hander who loves to throw, what do you call it, what, Tom? Sidearm, submarine?
Kind of more submarine.
Yeah, it's below the
I don't like
that 90-degree angle there.
I don't like it. It's hard to.
Well, it could be hard on the hitter, too, as he gets ahead of Webster 0-2. Yeah, you see a few major league pitchers who can do that, and they're specialty pitchers. They're not closers, they're not starters, but they can get out. If they're right-handed, they can get out the righties. Left-handers can get out the lefties. And they need Aiden Smith to get out a righty here, as he will throw ball 1 there. Count goes 1-2. We've seen Aiden Smith before on the Oklahoma Sports Network. I believe it was against Collinsville, and he looked pretty good. Looks good there as he gets the strikeout against Jackson Webster. And that will end the inning. But 6 runs for Carl Albert. They take a commanding 7-1 lead right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction.
Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, God hail, call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray, Tom Carpenter. Hey, maybe we can get Middale AD Andy Collier to join us. Tom, what do you think? He just walked behind us.
He's pretty shy. He joined us on our first broadcast. Remember that?
First ever broadcast was a football game, and
Bentonville, Arkansas.
I remember it well. I mean, we had Eric Sharon with us too.
Make sure we did it right, and we haven't lost our jobs yet. So
no, we're like one of the longest together broadcast teams, you and me, for football. This is the top of the third inning, brought to you by Confidence Chevrolet. Andrew Campbell, again, the pitcher for Carl Albert. Just good for him to get some reps. I don't know if we'll see him in the regionals. Maybe if they play deciding seventh game, they will. When I say seventh game, I mean, normally you have 6 games for sure in a regional, and you play the 7th game if necessary, which we saw last year with Midwest City and Noble. Lincoln King takes an inside pitch here. King struck out his leading off the game. Now gets ahead in the count here, 2-0. Well, Tom, one of the problems for Midwest City in some of their bigger games, they score early, and then they stay quiet. Lincoln King tries to change that as he jerks one down the right field line, but it is foul. That sounded good, though, Tom. That was a good hack by Lincoln King.
I had him at Midwest City as up more last year, and I was umpiring, and he hit a ball over the fence that I don't think's come down yet. It was a bomb.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore then, too.
Yep. Still a good ball player.
2-1, gets on the count 3-1. And when you're trailing like this, you have a chance to draw a walk, and you're the leadoff hitter of the inning. You want that.
You want that guy on base, and he wants to hit, but he needs to get on base to make up for that strikeout. Oh, that hit him.
Not officially, but it came close. Either way, he's going to take first base because that's
ball 4.
Ball 4. And this is the top of the order for Midwest City. They got some good hitters up here, so we'll see if they can get some of those runs back. I would say 1 through 6, 1 through 7. Again, solid hitters for the Bombers. Probably need to get a little better here if they want to make a playoff run. Let's see if Campbell looks to first inning. Instead, he throws to Terrence Rideau. First pitch, ball 1. Terrence Rideau, who walked and scored a run, is in the first inning here. Sends one in the air to center field.
Deep.
Devontae Jones is there for the out. King will tag, and he takes second. And with 1 out, that's a good base running by Lincoln.
Good sacrifice fly.
Now, is that officially sacrifice when it's advances a runner on the bases, but not at home, not to score?
No, it's a sacrifice fly because it advanced a runner.
Right. Okay.
And when you have Lincoln King, you know he can score. He can move around pretty quick. And
he's expected to be the quarterback next year for next season for the Midwest City.
I like watching him play. He's a good ball player. I'm so sorry he got hurt this last year.
That was
very disappointing.
That was a big loss on the football field for Midwest City. Well, for Carl Albert, I don't know if any one football player would have mattered that much. That ball is lifted to the outfield, and this is going to be a run for Devontae Jones.
Nope, it's off the wall.
And it gets to the wall. That should score Lincoln King easily here. And Washburn will get all the way to the third. James Washburn, boy, he's tearing up that ball as he gets an RBI triple, and Midwest City gets a run back. And actually, that was Dellenbach for Carl Albert, I think, who tried to make a play at the ball. He does not normally play right field. I don't think he could do anything with that, though, Tom, so I wouldn't put that on him.
No, he was hustling to get back there because it was right to the wall. And
so score now is 7-2.
Once again, you see what a great job. I had him on last year, but Chuck White did a great job with the field. He's done a great job here. The field looks beautiful.
So I was wondering if Fixico could stay in the game, but he apparently will not. Aiden Smith will be batting here. That's, Fixico might be a better hitter this year than he is pitcher, but he's out of the game now, and this is where you would love to have had him at bat. But we'll see what Aiden Smith can do with the bat. Now the pitcher for Midwest City swings and misses there for strike one. But 2 RBIs for James Washburn, Tom. I mean, he's had a really good year.
Yes, he has.
Swung on and missed there. Yeah, you can tell it's just not the same when you got a very inexperienced batter in Aiden Smith.
Well, yeah, that, and he probably doesn't usually bat very much. It's just because of the way the lineup set up. That's what happened.
Takes a pitch there inside for a ball. If he can just put the ball in play.
Score another run.
Get another run in. Washburn, the runner at third. Takes a high pitch there. By the way, it's been a while since I've called a night game here at Carl Albert, and the lights look pretty good. I like the way it looks on camera here. It's been a couple years. I remember that game. It was a tough game to call, as that pitch is in the dirt, ball 3. That was an elimination game in the regionals between Dell City and Ardmore. Ardmore won 17-16. And I was actually calling that game with John Kilty, and it was a slogfest. That was the last time I called a night game here, but they look good under the lights. Check swing foul. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Bobby Lewis surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and Dell City. So if you're in the Midwest City area, you're pretty close to his Dell City office. If you're in the Carl Albert area, you're pretty close to his Choctaw office. Here is the payoff pitch. And he takes strike 3. Campbell, when he's had to throw that outside strike, he's gotten it on a couple of full counts. And so now it will be up to Kevin Nelson to bat in Washburn here, as we now have 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning.
He's another one that can hit the ball hard. Pin's not.
Nelson fouls that one off, gets in the count 0-1. Tom Carpenter, he's the one who's smart enough to bring an extra pin.
Well, I got to be smart for something.
0-1 now the count to Kevin Nelson. That pitch misses. Count evens up. It's not. I don't know how much they fear Kevin Nelson does Carl Albert here, Tom, but not the worst place to pitch around him.
Like I said, he can lace the ball. I've seen him do it. Got a good eye for the ball, good swing. And that one's going to go way back in the back.
I was waiting to hear a big clump that.
That blue truck over there.
Yeah, didn't hear it at all. Don't know where it landed, but it is a foul ball. It is strike 2. Oh, that was a tough one to take, Tom. He did, and he was proven right by it, but that is not an easy pitch to take when a 2-strike count. But that outside pitch is called a ball. Count now evens 2-2. Nelson, the DH for Midwest City, looks to get him another run here. 2-2 pitch, and he takes strike 3.
Got him looking.
Yeah. This is where you're too patient of a hitter. But we'll show you the replay there. Just great pitching on the part of Campbell, Andrew Campbell and Carl Albert. And we played 2.5. It is 7-2. Titans lead the Bombers on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray joined by Tom Carpenter, the legend. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings bottom of the 3rd inning. Carl Albert scored 6 runs their last inning. One of the reasons why was a hit by Adam Head. He had an RBI double and then scoring a run. And here he is to lead off the 3rd. He's the 9th place hitter. Smith's inside pitch, ball 1.
Almost got him.
It's a bit of a risk you have when you throw submarine like that. If the pitch gets away from you, you will hit a right-handed hitter if you're a right-handed thrower. Goes, changes locations nicely there as he goes away and gets a strike. Thing is, Tom, I don't know, you said you didn't like that motion, that submarine motion, but for a hitter, it's different. You got to get used to it.
Well, for an umpire, it's a different look you don't see every day.
Right.
It's like going from fast pitch baseball to fast pitch softball. That ball's kind of coming up instead of going down, and you have to get your mind right to be thinking about how that pitch is going to be a strike on the batter.
Count goes 2-1. That one is laced to center, but right there is Lincoln King.
Lincoln King.
Getting the first out for Midwest City. And the Bombers, if their defense can get in order, they can maybe be a dangerous team in the regionals like they were last year, but they got to get the defense going, and Lincoln King, a good play there. So a fly out to center field for Adam Head, and this will be the 3rd time through the batting order. For Carl Albert, Jordan Hawkins will now turn around and bat left-handed. He walked and scored a run his last at bat. These are tougher, definitely on a submarine pitcher. Although Hawkins didn't seem to get a good eye on that one, and he fouls it off for strike 1.
Switch hitters usually do that for a reason, because this is probably somebody he can hit. He feels like he's better batting left. And
he's definitely more experienced batting left. Smith will step off the mound there. Step off the rubber, and now he'll reset.
Well.
And that one is sliced foul towards the Carl Albert dugout. Another Bobby Lewis foul ball. 0-2 the count.
Bobby Lewis is getting his money's worth tonight.
He sure is. You ought to go pay him. You got to go pay him a visit, Tom. I know he doesn't sponsor Midwest City Football. He does for Del City and Carl Albert and does a lot of other stuff. Ground ball right to Noah Polston, who will get the out there. And 2 quick outs for Carl Albert. And now Devontae Jones, probably the second most experienced player for Carl Albert. He was their regular center fielder in the playoffs. Declan Murphy was in the lineup every day. He batted leadoff to Declan Murphy last year. He's moved down the batting order this year. As of right now, we'll see if he gets back up there. The other 7 players, whoever they are for Carl Albert, they are new. They were not everyday players last year for him. Now, Mason Avery pitched for him in key spots, including the semifinals against Collinsville, but he didn't hit. So he's probably the 3rd most experienced player, you would say. 1-0 count, but as we've seen, Tom, Carl Albert reloads like they do in football. That ball is hit well and gets past the second baseman for a base hit for Devontae Jones. Very cleanly hit single there, and Carl Albert will have a 2-out base runner. Dellen Plank. Nate Dellen Plank now bagging the right fielder. He had an RBI triple.
Yes, he did.
A 3-run RBI triple his last at bat. That's called clearing the bases. Can't do that here. He can still get a triple. He can still get an RBI, but it won't be 3 runs if he does. Maybe he can get 2 RBI, though, if he can hit one out of here, and he's done it before. Pitch way outside, ball 1. Carl Albert will be playing a team from Kansas here, I believe, tomorrow. And then they will have a good challenge to end the season with a former 5A rival and district rival in baseball, Piedmont, on Monday.
Piedmont always has some good teams. Called a lot of ball up there in the last few years.
But it's been kind of like you expect, a challenge for them going up to 6A. They're not going to host a regional like they always do for 5A. Forgot where they finished, but somewhere in the middle of the pack.
I'm sorry, that town is exploding with the building all around, and they got the high school's built up. They got great fields.
Well, that's where we'll be, Tom, for football for Midwest City. Week 0. It's a matter of time before Piedmont probably becomes a 6A1 team. Good 3-0 pitch there from Smith as he catches the outside corner of the strike zone. And the count now goes 3-1 to Dellen Plank. Does Carl Albert send the speedy center fielder Devontae Jones here? This is lead.
Danger lead.
Fake's going, but then Smith will go off the rubber again.
No, if I was a young executive just getting a job in the Oklahoma City area looking for a place to go, my kids played ball, they'd be going to Piedmont.
So taken off was Jones, but that was ball 4, so no throw. And now Carl Albert will have 2 base runners after getting out the first 2 batters of this inning. So Bo Davis.
See, they're playing a walk-up song for him.
Yeah.
At Piedmont, they play a walk-up video. It's pretty cool. I mean, you could see your kid up on the big screen.
Well, that can change. They're going to start having some of that stuff here, I think. They've already inserted a good video board in the football fields here at Middell.
Right.
Bo Davis, as the pitch to Davis is outside for a ball. Inside, ball 2. Oh, this is some big pitches here for Smith. You wanted a clean 1-2-3 inning.
Yep. But he didn't want to load him up, that's for sure.
Oh, swung on and missed there. He fooled Davis, I'm sorry. Did Smith, and the count now goes 2-1.
Base
That
hit.
one is golfed into center field for a base hit. That should score a run for Carl Albert. And it does, as Devontae Jones will score. And an RBI single for Bo Davis. There's Lane Sexton coming up now for Carl Albert. They're now getting comfortable against the sidewinder or the submarine pitcher, Aiden Smith. As the 3 straight batters reach. Sexton struck out his first time. This is his 3rd trip. He walked previous bat, and he gets a foul ball here. 0-1 now the count. Inside, ball 2. Or sorry, ball 1. Count evens 1-1. That one is sliced foul. Another Bobby Lewis foul ball. Now Davis gets in the count 1-2. Or Smith, sorry, Aiden Smith. The Bomber pitcher right now. That one is sliced foul. And we'll do it again. 1-2 stays the count. And Midwest City still has 2 home games left, and we plan on having both of those games on. They also, I believe, are scheduled to go to Bishop McGinnis tomorrow. So they'll have some busy action these next few days before they hit the road for the playoffs. What hit it there
base hit.
Lane Sexton's able to reach for that one, and it's a
They're
base
gonna go
hit to
for
right
the score,
field.
and a horrible throw.
Dixon's throw way off the mark. That's going to let Sexton advance to
Oh,
second
man.
as it scores another run for Carl Albert. Because I forgot to update that. So the score now is 9 as they get 2 runs. They had a run earlier. And now there's a runner at second and third. So an RBI single for Sexton. He really reached for that one. This is really good hitting. As that scores Dylan Plank. I'm sorry, that scores Devontae Jones, I believe.
No, he already scored.
Yeah,
Hasn't he?
you're right, you're right. Here's Declan Murphy, the batter. It's Sexton and Davis are the base runners.
Strike called.
Strike 2. Getting that 3rd strike's been the hard part for Aiden Smith. As Carl Albert gets 2 runs in this inning after Middle City got a run in the top of the 3rd.
Got him.
Swung on and missed. Declan Murphy strikes out, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. That also is a Patrick Newby State Farm or Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance strikeout. And we will head to the top of the 4th. Titans lead the Bombers 9-2 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
And welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Titans and Bombers, so we got not one but two Middale teams. This is the top of the fourth inning, brought to you by Confidence Chevrolet, Buick GMC. Andrew Campbell still the pitcher for Carl Albert, who's done a good job. And Turner McPherson, the batter for Midwest City. Pitch count now goes 1-1. That one is foul. And good to see Turner playing, as he had a concussion earlier this season, playing first base on a collision, playing first base against Dale. Falls behind the count 1-2. Pitch is high, ball 2. Swung on and missed. No. No, he did swing on and miss. He just strike 3. He
thought he dropped the ball. And
he was trying to take first in case the ball got dropped. But that is a Patrick Newby strikeout. Good pitching there by Andrew Campbell, and out number 1. That's one of the first. There's been a couple of strikeouts swinging for Midwest City. That's one of them right there. And now Jesse Bain, the batter. Good pitch there, although some Midwest City faithful don't like it.
I was about to say, I didn't really like it either, but from where I'm at, I can't see the plate, so I'm not sure. He's right in the slot, though. He should be able to see everything.
Yeah, and Campbell wisely tried to go back there, just missed it there, so the count evens up 1-1. Pitch is high, ball 2. Swung on and missed, strike 2.
I think it was a foul tip. Not that it's much difference.
No.
Only difference.
It did sound like it was foul tipped. Check swing. And they're going to say he went around strike 3. So now Andrew Campbell is in his zone as he gets another Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance strikeout. Of course, Carlber got a couple runs last inning, even though Midwest City got the first 2 batters out with a 2-out rally. Brandon Dixon, the batter now. We'll see if the Bombers can do something similar. Dixon takes strike one from Campbell. Swung on and missed there, strike two. And here is the 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball one. Bombers playing 2 games live on the Oklahoma Sports Network Saturday and then Monday. Tom will join me Saturday. They'll play Tulsa Edison Prep in it's a district game. It's a baseball district game. It's a makeup game. All these are makeup games here. This is a makeup game from a game scheduled Tuesday. Del City will have that game on Monday. That's senior day at Midwest City. That's a makeup game from a game that was rained out earlier. I'm just glad that all these games can be made up because the weather hasn't been that forgiving.
It's supposed to rain again tonight. I don't know if they've changed the forecast.
Hopefully it won't have much of an effect on Saturday's game. And again, Dixon strikes out looking.
Was it 3 strikeouts in a row? It sure
was. He struck out the side. All strikeout. Not all. The first 2 strikeouts were strikeouts looking, but Patrick Newby, Farmers Insurance, getting his money's worth that inning, and it is still a 9-2 game. Carl Albert leads Midwest City on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
This bus. When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
Welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Bombers and Titans. It's the Buffalo Wild Wings bottom of the 4th inning. This is Mason Avery, the catcher, batting.
Foul.
And he slices one foul for another Bobby Lewis foul ball as Aiden Smith gets ahead to count 0-1.
Somebody get the ball. There you go, son.
Tom was barking at the Midwest City dugout there ever so calmly.
Well, nothing aggravates an umpire than a ball sitting out where it's the game can't go on and then no one goes and fetches it.
Count goes to 0-2. Stays 0-2, and then the Bobby Lewis foul ball. Smith looking for another strikeout. He's got a couple. That pitch inside, ball one. Avery had an RBI single in his first at bat. Actually had 2 at-bats that inning. And he was hit by a pitch his second plate appearance, so he's officially 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch. As he fouls that one off, another Bobby Lewis foul ball, and we do it again in 1-2. Pitch low and away, gets past Rideau, no matter with no one being on base, just ball 2. One-two delivery. That ball is hit into foul territory, not playable for McPherson. And another Bobby Lewis foul ball.
Avery is hanging in there.
Yeah, that's been a key for Carl Albert. They've just been able to stay with these 2-strike pitches and allowed him to score a couple runs last inning. And again, Avery staying alive with Bobby Lewis foul ball after Bobby Lewis foul ball. Struck him out there. Good job by Aiden Smith just staying with that. Pesky at bat from Mason Avery. But strikeout swing in there. 1 away. And Jackson Webster the hitter now. And Jackson Webster struck out a couple times. Hits one right back to Aiden Smith.
Nice play.
He's able to throw to McPherson for the second out. So once again, Aiden Smith gets a couple of quick outs.
Let's see if we can get the third one.
Yeah, that's where things have gotten in trouble for Midwest City. Has been after they get 2 outs. And Adam Heads had a good game. He did fly out to center field his last at bat. Good, well hit ball, but he's 1 for 2 as he had an RBI double.
Had
His
a nice
at bat
double.
before then, yeah.
Nice double. Start off the game. His first time at bat.
Pitch is outside for a ball. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count now goes to 1-1. Or no, it's 0-1. Another Bobby Lewis foul ball, strike 2. Aiden Smith, he's had the hitters off balance this entire inning. And he's a strike away from going 1-2-3 here.
And being in the flight pattern of Tinker, I think we had a plane almost in the pattern.
Sure is what it sounds like. That's a ball there.
Ouch.
And then they hit him. Well, you're a strike away, Tom, so you definitely didn't want to do that.
No.
The problem is that will lead to the top of the order for Carl Albert. They're not going to bat the 4th time through. Here's Jordan Hawkins. Rounded out to second base his last at bat.
He got on base and scored with a walk, second inning.
And that pitch is outside for a ball. And then
Yeah,
that hit
they
him?
hit
Yeah,
that pitch.
boy.
That ought to get a visit from the coach.
Hayden Smith has hit Carl Albert batters in 2 of his last 3 pitches. So now Carl Albert with a couple base runners. If they can make a play at getting a run rule in place here, if they can score 3 runs this inning. And then, of course, we'll get the bat in top of the 5th no matter what. But after that, run rule might go in place. That pitch to Devontae Jones inside. Devontae Jones scored his last inning via a 2-out walk. Now he steps out of the batter's box. That pitch is up and out, ball 2. We're up and away. A little bit tougher, I believe, for Hayden Smith against the lefty batters. Goes inside there, finds the inside corner, strike 1. That one is laced for a base hit. That should score at least 1 run.
It's a good throw.
Never mind. What a throw by Brandon Dixon.
Great throw.
He hit an off-balance throw last inning. That inning, not the case. And I thought that run was going to score, but Brandon Dixon kept the runner at third and bay. Now Carl Albert does have the bases loaded. And now Coach Vaca will come to the mound for Midwest City.
I thought of an invention today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the first base coach is always having to take the glove, the batting glove,
right,
from the batter once he gets on base, and then they have that sliding glove or running glove, whatever you want to call it, stealing glove, whatever they call that thing, sticking out of their back pocket. Well, I just think they ought to make him a Velcro suit for the first base coach.
We'll talk more about that when we get back. We're going to take a quick break as Midwest City is making a pitching change right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Once again, Hayden Smith gets the first 2 batters of an inning out, and he can't finish the job. This time he'll get replaced by Jeremiah Jackson. Jeremiah Jackson's a senior who has played some second base also for Midwest City. And he'll be batting to the powerful Nate Dellenplank, who had an RBI triple, a walk, has scored a couple times, had a sacrifice fly for an RBI. In the first inning, takes ball 1 there. 1-0 now the count. Inside, now it goes 2-0. Pitch catches the top part of the strike zone, and it goes 2-1. I thought that pitch was high, actually.
It looked like it was a little bit.
2-1 delivery. 3-1 now the count. That pitch was definitely high. Jackson trying to avoid a walk, but he will not. That's going to score a run for Carl Albert. What type of pitching Jeremiah was trying to do there, Tom? Looked like he's kind of like a knuckleball almost. But that is an RBI walk for Delon Plank.
RBI base on balls. Who'd have thought?
The frustrating thing, again, this inning, like the last inning, starts out with Middle City getting the first two batters out.
Yep.
So Adam Head, who was hit by a pitch, and that leads to a run scored and a 10-2 lead for the Titans.
I've seen this a lot this year. It's body language. You know, you get 2 outs, you got to be getting excited. The bench ought to be hollering. Get everybody excited. Nope.
Bo Davis now the hitter. And he takes ball 1. Make that ball 2. Davis had an RBI single last inning. And if he can get a single here, that would make it 12-2, and then Carl Albert can win the next half of the inning via run rule. Takes a big hack there, fouls it off. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Here's a 2-1 count, 2-1 pitch from Jeremiah Jackson. Boy, another big hack. I'm surprised he actually went for it, as we've seen some high balls thrown from Jackson, but give him credit for making that pitch there, and now he's a strike away from getting out of this inning. Bo Davis the batter. Bases are juiced. Boy, Davis being aggressive there. I don't know if that was going to be ball 3. It just looked
Yeah, it didn't
high.
look like it was going to be, but you can't always be sure.
Yeah. Another Bobby Lewis foul ball. Bobby Lewis surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in both Choctaw and Midwest City. 2-2 pitch.
Got him swinging.
Swung on and missed. And that will do it. So this time Carl Albert comes back to score 1 run after the first 2 outs are recorded. And we will head, there'll be no run rule at first anyway. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth, or top of the 5th. I'll get that straight. It's now 10-2 Titans over the Bombers on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company is going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Welcome back to the top of the 5th inning here. Bombers and Titans playing. Jordan Ray, Tom Carpenter, and some interesting changes for Carl Albert. They're bringing on their catcher to pitch. This is the Confidence Chevrolet top of the inning. And Lane Sexton, who was playing second base, is now catching. So he's the third catcher today used for Carl Albert. So we'll have a new second baseman. So Jason Purcell will be throwing his first pitch here. That pitch misses for a ball. Noah Polston, the batter. Count now goes 2-0. Polston struck out looking his last at bat. Makes solid contact there. Fielded by, I believe that's Declan Murphy.
Nice
the first
play.
That is Declan Murphy, still at shortstop. No, Lane Sexton's actually still in second base. Okay, so they're actually, Carl Albert is, we got this mixed up here.
Does it look like a 7?
Carl Albert brought Mason Avery's back catching. Or he's still catching. Jason Purcell, now here's why I got confused, Tom, not to make any excuses for myself. Jason Purcell caught for Carl Albert last game against Edmond Memorial. That was the problem. They made no change of catcher.
But is that a 3? That's where I'm having trouble looking at.
Three's
yeah,
the
I think
catcher.
it is. I know, but it looks like a 7 with his chest protector on there. Plus, I got a pole in front of me.
Yeah, I guess you have the rough seat here, the two of us. Lincoln King now the batter. Just takes a strike there. King drew a walk and scored his last at bat. Count actually now is 2-1. And King turns on that one. Hard hit foul ball. And the count goes 2-2. Bobby Lewis foul ball. So here's Purcell's 2-2 pitch, and that hits Lincoln King.
Or did it?
Well, no, it went behind him, I guess, so the count will go
Sure
full.
looked like
it did look like it him, but pitch went behind Lincoln.
31. All 4.
And King draws another walk, so he has done his job as a leadoff hitter. And he'll take first base. And Terrence Rideau will now bat. Rideau hit a sacrifice fly to center field to advance Lincoln King to second base, his last at bat. Takes a strike there. That was in the third inning. And that one goes over his head. Lincoln King will take second as that gets past the catcher. Of course, Mason Avery. And the count will even 1-1. And that pitch misses, ball 2.
Four straight pitches.
Outside, that actually, I think we had a strike there where we shouldn't have, so it was a 3-0 count, and now a walk for Terrence Rideau. And now Midwest City's got 2 base runners with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. And probably their best hitter, James Washburn, will be batting. He had a triple his last at bat. That goes past Mason there, and both base runners advance. So I'm sure it'll be rolled a wild pitch. That will goes past Mason Avery. And now Bombers have 2 runners in scoring position. And the count will go 1-0. Now you may think at this point, even though there's 1 out, pitching around Washburn, because up next is Jeremiah Jackson. Again, he's not an experienced hitter.
Right.
It's supposed to be Caden Fixco's spot in the order. That inside pitch makes the 2-0.
Yeah, Washburn's got one of the highest on-base percentage.
Yeah. That pitch is high. They go back to third, but Lincoln King gets back easily. And they've called that a strike. On the board is 2-1.
I guess he did. Watching the throw.
Yeah, I was too. And that is in the dirt and past Avery, and Lincoln King will score easily. Rideau will go to third, and Midwest City gets its 3rd run. It's now 10-3, Carl Albert. And that should make the count 3-1. They've cleared the pitch count on the scoreboard. That pitch there is a strike, so I believe the count is full, 3-2. And that's in the dirt. That's going to be ball 4. It should be ball 4. But then almost, that's a close play. It's home plate, and Rideau's able to score. Let me go and get that on the Triple E screen printing instant replay. I'm getting all twisted on the count, though, with these advances in the base runners. I thought that was ball 4. But now it was ball 3. Now the count's full.
Right.
And Washburn laces one, and that's a base hit down the left field line. That would have scored 2 runs easy. It had not been for those wild pitches, but either way, Washburn with another base hit. And he's a home run away from in for the cycle, Tom.
We'll take it.
And I think Coach Wiley will come out to make a pitching change here. As the score is now 10-5 in Midwest City.
Yeah,
they're looking for more to make this game interesting here.
Just going to change positions.
So now we can say Lane Sexton is moving to the battery. But when we say battery, we mean the pitcher. Lane Sexton's the pitcher now. We'll identify the infielders here in a moment. But we'll also take a quick break here. You're watching Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. They simply switched the pitcher and the second baseman. So Lane Sexton now the pitcher, Purcell now at second base. Jeremiah Jackson the batter for Midwest City, as he was pitching earlier. And while you were gone, he swung and missed at the first pitch, so the count's 0-1. That's outside, ball one. So 1-1 the count with 1 out, 1 on. That base runner, James Washburn, who has had an outstanding day at the plate, or night at the plate. They look to get him out at second.
Nice play.
Washburn gets back.
Great throw.
Really feel good about him just being a junior.
Yeah.
Swung on a miss there by Jackson, strike 2.
I had Shawnee the other night. They had no seniors and 2 juniors. The rest were underclassmen.
Interesting on Shawnee.
That's
really
odd.
They're trying to bring back their dynasty. They had a three-peat a few years ago.
Yep.
Jackson swung on a miss there. The pitch is in the dirt. They have to throw to first. It's going to be close.
Safe.
And they say safe. And then Washburn alertly takes third base, so runners are at the corners. And that's just good hustle by Jeremiah Jackson. He took nothing for granted there. And that has to bother Coach Whiteley, too, I would think, not getting that out there. And now Kevin Nelson with a chance to do some damage here. And Nelson takes the ball.
He struck out twice tonight.
Yes, he did. Both looking and swinging.
He's due.
So I don't think he's had a foul ball either, so he's not really made contact yet, but he's worked the count. To his advantage now, 2-0. Takes a big hack there. Good pitch by Sexton, and it is now 2-1. There's a foul ball, so he has made contact, but it's, again, a foul ball. Bobby Lewis foul ball, and the second strike. 2-2 now the count.
Finally hearing some life out of the Midwest City dugout.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're lively at the moment. We'll see if Lane Sexton can silence them here. Pitch in the dirt, full count. I'll tell you this, Kevin is very selective with his swings. See if Lane Sexton can keep him off balance here. Payoff pitch. And that is called strike 3. Let's see that again. Good pitch by Lane Sexton. We have seen Carl Albert do this with a full count. They've gotten that outside corner. And it's a little frustrating when that Kevin Nelson takes some of those pitches, but good pitch by Lane Sexton. And now there's 2 outs. Still runners at the corners. You consider sending Jeremiah Jackson here. As batting for Midwest City now is Turner McPherson. Takes a big hack there. Strike 1. McPherson struck out swinging his last at bat. Won't hear as he puts that in play.
Base hit. It's going to
score.
And
that's over the head of Murphy for a base hit.
RBI, baby.
We'll have the replay of this, a Triple 8 instant replay. As that's now 10-6. So this game has gotten competitive here. And, you know, as you get to the bottom of the order, you need to come through in that situation, especially with 2 outs, Tom.
Yep.
Just get everyone you can, and hopefully you'll still be in this game when you get to the bottom of the order. Keep that count 0-1. First pitch, Jesse Bain, a strike. So that scored James Washburn. Some zip on that pitch, but Bain checked the swing. Count goes 1-1. The key is Jeremiah Jackson not giving up on that strikeout. Kept that inning going. That allowed that last run to score for Midwest City. Count now goes 2-1 to Bain. And he can do some damage, though he did strike out swinging his last at bat. That pitch is high, and the count goes 3-1.
Go, Bain, knock some runners in. You can do it.
Let's see if he does. 3-1 pitch by Sexton, and there's that outside corner. And now the count goes full. Tom, you got to protect that outside part of the plate now, or outside this part of the zone if you're Midwest City.
And Ump's been consistent. He's calling on both sides, but he's calling a big zone, it looks like to me, from up here. But
flip back the runner at second. That being Jeremiah Jackson, who is the pitcher as of now for Midwest City. Payoff pitch.
Foul ball.
And yeah, Bain protected the plate well there, and it is a Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count will remain full. Again, here's the payoff pitch.
And the foul.
That foul ball is out of play. It was high, but out of play. Another Bobby Lewis foul ball. And we're going to see another payoff pitch by Lane Sexton.
In full count with 2 outs, these runners ought to be going.
We are approaching 10 o'clock here. First game started at 5. I've been here for a while. You've had a busy day as well, Tom.
I spent 5 hours in Seminole.
Swung on and missed, strike 3, so Lane Sexton will get his team out of the inning. But not before the Bombers score 4 runs. So this is becoming a high-scoring game. 10-6, Carl Albert leads Midwest City on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
we're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The Mushroom Swiss Burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray, Tom Carpenter. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings. Bottom of the 5th inning. It's still not too late to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, by the way, and take advantage of their buy one, get one deals they have every Thursday, as well as Tuesday. So it's now 10-6. I was talking earlier, and prematurely, I might add, about a possible run rule, but Midwest City scored 4 that top of the inning. Jeremiah Jackson remains the pitcher. Throws a first pitch strike to the new pitcher for Carl Albert, Lane Sexton. Lane Sexton started this game at second base. An RBI single his last at bat. That pitch gets behind, or is behind Sexton, making the count 1-1. I'm almost surprised, not that I know how it feels, that in that situation the batter doesn't stick out his rump to draw that hit by pitch.
You can't move into a pitch. If an ump sees it, they'll just be dead ball. I got to make a call this year. I haven't got to make a double strike. When the batter jumps out of the batter's box without calling time, and the pitch comes in as a strike, you call 2 strikes. That's a.
You have to remember that hand gesture. Strike there.
I just go strike.
And did the coach come out to ask about that?
Yes, we had a discussion, but I said, "Well, sir, I'd hate to tell you this is the first time I've ever used this rule, and it's been about 28 years I've been doing this."
That one by
Nice
Sexton
hit.
is laced past Washburn for a hard hit single. So Sexton will lead off the inning with a single. Of course, Midwest City's had some tough situations where they get the first 2 batters out and proceed to give up a run. So maybe the opposite will happen here, as Declan Murphy will be the batter. He struck out his last at bat. Oh, do they have him a run down there? Now they're not going to be able to take advantage of that. Should Rideau have gone to second or just kept the ball maybe? Make the base runner commit? They had what appeared to be a rundown with Sexton, but Sexton was able to take off for second when Rideau threw to first, and McPherson just didn't have time to get that ball to second. So now Carl Albert has a runner in scoring position.
I think the actual defense would be nice bunt.
They lay down a bunt. Jackson
throws it away.
Airmails the throw to first base. That's going to lead to a run for Carl Albert, as Murphy will get to second. That would definitely be an E1. And another run for Carl Albert now, as it's now 11-6. Mason Avery, the batter now. He struck out looking his last at bat. And he falls behind the count, or he gets ahead in the count there, 1-0. High strike there. That's what Jeremiah Jackson's trying to do, Tom, to get that high strike. And he has gotten a few. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Swung on a missed strike 3. They got to throw to first, though, as they hit the ground, but this throw will be successful. However, the Sexton, the runner at second, Murphy, the runner at second, will take third base. So the Carlsbad gets a runner in scoring position, or gets a runner to third base, less than 2 outs. About a strikeout for Jeremiah Jackson. And a second straight strikeout at the plate for Mason Avery as he strikes out swinging this time. And Jackson Webster, the hitter now.
Infield is in.
Foul ball there. Strike 1. Bobby Lewis foul ball. That ball is lifted to left field for Mason Gamble. He does make the catch. Good throw to the cutoff guy, the pitcher. I believe that may have been Bain. But either way, it's going to be a run for Carl Albert. No chance to throw out Murphy there. And now it's 12-6. So good at bat there for young Jackson Webster, a RBI sacrifice fly.
Adam Head getting up to bat.
And now Adam Head, the hitter. Two outs, strike 1 right there. The count will remain 0, or the count will be 0-1. Base is now clear. That ball is skied into shallow right field.
Gonna be a base hit.
And McPherson fell down, couldn't get to hold that ball. And it will be I guess you call it a bloop single for Adam Head.
Yeah, it's just a base hit because he never touched the ball. He never.
Right. So another 2-out base hit.
Exactly.
Carl Albert. And by the way, Adam Head, I think a lot of his at-bats he's been getting on base with 2 outs, and that leads to the top of the order for Carl Albert every time he does it. So a very effective 9th place hitter. And now Jordan Hawkins with his 5th plate appearance here. As that pitch is inside. Want to know the count? Jackson looks back, Head, but not all the way to first base, just part of the way. Outside, just missed. Ball 2.
No, he called a strike.
Oh, he did call a strike. It wasn't that clear. But I think it was a strike, so ground ball towards first base. Can they get the throw to first in time? He can. Good fielding by Jeremiah Jackson. So the Bombers allow a couple more runs. They've allowed a run every inning. But they are closer now because they scored 4 the previous inning. And so the score is 12-6 as we head to the top of the 6th on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
I'm so hungry I could eat all the tires off this bus.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits.
You hear my belly growling? Yep. I'm gonna need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger!
Welcome back to Middle City and Carl Albert Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And we just missed a bunt for a base hit try by Brandon Dixon. It was a good attempt at it, but good fielding by Lane Sexton, normally an infielder. And he's able to get the out. So out number one. Here's Noah Polston. Now the batter for Midwest City. Fouls that one off. Bobby Lewis foul ball.
Ooh, that was close.
Fouls that one off. Now 2 strikes here. Sexton will now step off the mound. That pitch is low, ball 1. "12-6 score, Bombers and Titans. Chopper towards third base. Bo Davis.
Good play.
Makes the throw there. Really his first opportunity, and sorry we missed that. I meant to switch a little sooner. But, yeah, it makes a good play there for out number 2. And we haven't seen much of Bo Davis on defense this game. He had a rough outing against Edmond Memorial playing third. I believe he had 3 errors, in fact. But makes a good play there. As there are now 2 outs. And back to the top of the order for Midwest City, Lincoln King, who has reached base twice via walk and has scored both times. And gets in the count there, 1-0. King.
It's fouled.
Hits one into foul territory near third base.
He caught it.
And did Davis catch it? Yes, he did. No argument from Coach Vaca of Midwest City as he heads back to his dugout. So a 1-2-3 inning after Midwest City had 4 runs the previous inning. Well, to the bottom of the 6th inning, can Carl Albert win via run roll and lead to score some runs for that at the bottom of the 6th inning? We'll find out right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, welcome back to Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings bottom of the 6th inning. Carl Albert will lead off with their number 2 hitter, Devontae Jones. Jeremiah Jackson still the pitcher for Midwest City. So, Tom, you said it may be an 8-run rule?
Yeah, I mean, it's non-district, so.
Okay. By that we mean non-baseball district, which
right.
Carl Albert's in District 1, Midwest City's in District 3. We'll see if Carl Albert can challenge that. Devontae Jones works the count in his favor, 2-0. And then he takes a hack there for a strike, a Bobby Lewis foul ball strike. Count goes 2-1.
I waited on that one to take a hack at it. Late swing.
Fouls that one off. Fouls to our left towards the concession stand. And the count now goes 2-2. That one is skied up there. Looks like Washburn gets under it. He didn't have to move very much, and he makes the catch for the first out. So here is Nate Dellenplank. Had a 3-run RBI triple earlier this game. Walked in a run his last at bat, or his last plate appearance. Takes the ball there. And that one is
fouled straight up.
But it's going to be out of play. Rideau.
Barely. Almost come up here in the press box.
I think if the foul territory was deeper, Rideau could have probably gotten to that. As it is, it will be a long strike one. Bobby Lewis foul ball as well. 1-1 the count now, 2-1. And Midwest City will be playing a district game, a makeup game on Saturday. We'll have that game for you. Tulsa Edison Prep, 1 o'clock. That ball is launched to left field. Back there is Gamble.
He got it.
Gets near the warning track for out number 2. Good play by Mason Gamble. And once again, Midwest City gets the first 2 batters out. Can they finally go 1-2-3 here? The last 2 times that's happened, Carl Albert still eventually scores.
Yeah.
See what happens here is the first pitch is put in play towards right field. Dixon dove
got
for it,
by him.
But it got.
Where'd he get it?
No, he got it. Good play by Brandon
Wow.
Dixon, who's gotten better and better in right field today. And it is a 1-2-3 inning. So a deep fly to left, deep fly to right, but in the park. in a 1-2-3 inning. That was Bo Davis who got out that last time there. And the Bombers down 6 will have their final at bat here unless they can come back and tie the game. 12-6 the score. You're watching Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never going to happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
we're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Back to the top of the final inning here. Again, unless we for some reason go into extra innings here, it's the 7th inning between the Bombers and the Titans. Carl Albert 3 outs away. Let's see if Midwest City can make this difficult here. Jeremiah Jackson, the batter. So that's Terrence Rideau. I lost my place there. Rideau now had the count 2-1. He walked his last at bat. Takes a strike there. Count now goes 2-2.
That was a good pitch right there.
We've seen some good pitches by Lane Sexton, who's going to be on to try to close this game out for Carl Alberts. Pitched the last couple innings. After a very short appearance by Jason Purcell, who's now at second base. Pitch misses, and the count goes full. Well, when you're up 6 runs in the situation, you don't walk. You groom a pitch if you have to, but you don't walk a batter. You wouldn't think. We'll see what Lane Sexton does. Full count. Nicely hit there by no.
Did he catch
and
it?
Was it trapped?
Nope, called it out.
That's Rideau, of course, I should say. Mispronounced his name, and he is going to be an out at left field. Good play there by Jackson Webster. And that's going to be out number 1. Well, Rideau hit it well, but Jackson Webster made a good play. And Titans now 2 outs away. Now it's Washburn who, again, if he can just hit home run, Tom, he'll have the cycle. He has a single, a double, and a triple.
In that order.
Bobby Lewis foul ball.
No, it wasn't either.
That was not the order, but close enough. And the count goes 1-2.
Single, triple, double. That's how he went.
Maybe get an inside the park home run. No, instead he's going to strike out. Low and in corner of the strike zone. Good job by Sexton. We have that for the triple lead screen printing instant replay. And the Bombers are down to their final out. And that should be Jeremiah Jackson now, the batter. Takes the ball there. Of course, Jackson's last at bat, he struck out, but he hustled when he saw the ball hit the ground and was able to beat out the throw. And that allowed Midwest City to score 1 more run. Gets out here 2-0. I think he got hit. He definitely got hit.
It just
Or
depends.
they call it foul. I thought he got hit, but maybe it also grazed the bat or something.
Well, if it hit him in the hands first and then hit the bat, he gets his base. He wasn't swinging at it.
No, he raised the bat, but I'm going to call it a foul ball.
Yeah.
And then Coach Vaca is going to talk to the home plate umpire about the call, as we have a trainer coming out to look. I think it's, again, the Carl Albert trainer coming out to check on Jeremiah there.
He's put his hand back in the glove, so it must not be too bad. But if you've played the game, you know that hurts.
Yeah. And it feels even worse probably if you don't get to take a base. Unless, of course, you somehow get on base anyway. So we're now near 10:30. I've been here since about 3:30, maybe closer to 4. And we're glad we could bring you this doubleheader. Again, had a chance to show you Carl Albert against Edmond Memorial. Edmond Memorial, probably the best team in 6A on the west side anyway. Well, also maybe the best team, period. That pitch is outside for a ball. I don't know, Tom, if you've got a chance to call the 6A games very much this year.
I have. I think I called them at Putnam City Original.
Now that is a hit.
Hit by pitch.
And we'll show you the replay. There's no doubt. And not what you want to do, of course, when you're trying to close the game out. But Jeremiah Jackson will take first base. And, you know, Tom, I think it's important that Kevin Nelson here, he's not had good at-bats this game.
He's due.
Yeah.
Struck out 3 times.
That pitch will get in the dirt past the catcher, Mason Avery, so Jeremiah Jackson will take second. Basically, you just want to avoid being that last out. I think Lane Sexton's having some control issues at the moment, Tom.
Yep. But the coach is like, I'm not going to bring another pitcher in this late.
Well, not yet anyway.
Yeah.
And that pitch missed.
Wow.
In other circumstances, you might go ahead and accept walking Kevin Nelson. I don't think you do that here. That is strike one. Just because you want to try to get that out as soon as you can. And again, when it's the 7th inning, a walk and a hit don't really change much. That ball is put in play.
Right at the right fielder.
And Dylan Plank will end the game in right field with a catch there. And that will do it. So final score is Carl Albert 12, Midwest City 6. So Carl Albert goes 1-1 here. Midwest City, they played a tough schedule. In district and out of district, they have not had many wins lately. But Tom, you know they have good players, guys like King, Washburn, Rideau, Nelson. I think if they can get Fixco going pitching, they'll do fine from hitting wise. And we'll see if they can, start to build something. They'll have a couple winnable games coming up before they get to the playoffs, so we'll see how they do.
Well, looking forward to it.
As for Carl Albert, this will be the last time we have a regular season game on the network for them. But don't worry, they're hosting a regional next Thursday, and we plan on having every one of their games on and even a couple of extra ones. So I'm waiting to see if Tom might be available to call a couple of those games.
Got to see what my schedule ends up being for.
He's waiting as well.
Regionals for my assignments for umpiring. So.
We'll see how it goes. But thank you all for joining us We appreciate Josh Calloway and Coach Judson for calling the first game, and thank you, Tom, for joining me here. Always happy to do something a little different with you, which that's what we do when we call baseball games. A little different than football, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us once again. Our next Mid-Dell broadcast will be Saturday at 1 o'clock over at Midwest City High School. The Bombers need to clinch that 4 seed, so they need to beat Tulsa Edison Prep. And we look forward to bringing you that game and hopefully talk to former Midwest City head coach Jerry Long. For Tom Carpenter, I'm Jordan Ray. Thanks again for watching Mid-Dell Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.